We then proceeded at that point into our simulated countdown.
Sorry, I can bring it in. We can.
Lunchtime, kids! Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
I think we're on.
Well, I'm not seeing the camera.
It may be set to 7. Or maybe set to...
Okay.
So I'm going to assume you're on.
I'm on.
Yeah, you're on.
If we can turn down that
Hot jams?
hot jams is just a hot second.
7 and 8.
Less than 24 hours later, we are back. Oh, that was a hard stop. Less than 24 hours later, we are back. Most people fade that out. No. Sarah Macias has the bravery.
We all have our own style.
Yeah, there's like a drop. It's like a hard pause button.
Let me ask you a question. Yesterday you were saying that you have to sing the lunch break open for Harvey.
Yes.
Do you do the yum yum yummers?
Yeah, every time. I think that's all he wants to hear. He doesn't want to hear the whole thing.
No, he doesn't like the artistic part of it.
No, just that. Lunchtime, kids. All right.
I saw his meltdown.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be Mike 5 for Trelvis.
Yeah,
or for
let's
Trey.
get him.
Yeah, Mike 5 is on, I believe. Should it be 4?
Try
Should be
6.
5.
Let's try them all.
Talk.
How about now?
No.
Is it turned up? Is the fader 5 on and up?
Oh, that's right.
we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
That's it.
There we
I
go.
had you all the way
I
down.
hear me now.
I had you down. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you okay?
Yeah, the meltdown. And again, even yesterday, I came home and he was still like, lunch break. And so I showed him what we did. Nope, he won't be happy with this.
No, it's gotta be.
It's got to be the full cast.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he wants some throwback. He wants like, where's Zach?
Yeah.
He wants some throwbacks. Like, sorry, dude, man, life changes, things change.
Hey, you tagged him young. I tell you that.
This is going to come up in therapy in about 20 years.
Yeah. Like, I can't have lunch anymore. I just think about how I was let down time and time again. Even this morning, carrying him like to breakfast, he was like, Dita, lunch break. And I was like, buddy, we can't do screen time in the morning. You know that. He was like, sing it to me. Sing it to me. I'm like, my God, what a weird kid.
You need to just copy that file onto your phone, and that way you can just play it.
I should, yeah. Just have it on like a 48-hour loop.
Yeah.
And just, because that's all he really cares about is that little intro. As soon as we start talking, interest is gone.
He's done.
Yeah, he's done. Checked out. I was even talking about him yesterday.
Yeah.
Checked out.
That's funny.
We have 2 exciting bits of info. One is a story from our very own Trey. Trey had a run-in with the law. Run-in. Yeah,
True.
Almost ended up in some jewelry, but didn't. He's still here with us today. Thank you very much.
Right.
And the other one is I watched an episode of Grey's Anatomy, which is still on, and I am just baffled by, I don't know what it's like they play a really weird game of what's the most ridiculous thing we could do and put it on TV in a hospital setting that people would still watch.
Yeah.
And they still get ratings. People still watch the show.
Well, I mean, part of it is like like a show that's been on that long. You have to escalate, right? You can't just keep doing. I think they've got, I don't know.
They've had an active shooter.
Measles or something.
Yeah, they've had an active shooter. They've had a plane crash. They've had a flood, a horrible storm. They've had, like, someone had just, like, really weird and, like, bizarre things
It
that
sounds
would
like
never
OSHA
happen.
needs to visit this place at least once a month.
Yeah.
Is this who is regulating this hospital?
Who keeps coming back to this hospital?
Right.
It's the busiest hospital in the world.
And so we're like, no, they pull it from headlines. Like, well, okay, they pull it from headlines, but it's like headlines all around the world. Kind of like SVU. SVU has the weirdest, like most outlandish stories that are pulled from all over, the country, mostly in the U.S. area, but
Right.
all over the world's open for if they can pull it from a headline. But they make it all happen in like one area. What is there? I know they're in the Bronx, but I forget what they are. I keep wanting to think 9-9.
Yeah.
But that's a totally different show.
No, that's a different show.
Yeah, but they pull it back to one precinct.
Right. It's like a 10-block radius that all this stuff is happening.
All the most like outlandish, horrific things that happen in the world happen in this one. Do not move there.
It's literally the worst place on earth.
Yeah, everyone gets seen by the special victims units. Not a
Murdered
good
the
place to
entire
be.
population of this.
Yeah,
Of this.
jeez. So, but yeah, we'll go
What
ahead
can
and-
you? Or wait, I'm sorry. Were you going to do something else first?
No,
Because I
I
was
was
going to
gonna
ask
get into
you.
it.
I was like, can you explain to me the plot of Grey's Anatomy? Like, what is the overarching thing going on? Is it like?
Didn't the main character die on Grey's
The main
Anatomy?
character, yeah, he died. Okay, and again, if you haven't seen it, I'm
Is
not
this the one
spoiling
with
anything.
McDreamy and
Yeah,
all this?
Right.
McDreamy and McSteamy.
And that was their actual name?
Mixed thing.
No, they had actual names. Everyone
Okay.
just called them
All right.
like all the fans. Which, by the way, the fan forums.
Uh-huh.
And I act like I watch this a lot. I don't. And my wife watches it, but it's more or less like while she's doing something. She can't just sit there and like watch TV. She has to be
Right.
like doing other things, like cleaning up or like working on something or doing something else productive.
The
besides
TV is just
TV.
in the background, so she's
To the
not
background.
alone.
So she hears it, yeah, because I'm
Right.
like typing, yeah. So but she it's on. I'm like hearing like because I can't tune things out when I always hear them, and I feel like the story now is like there's like a love triangle. There's all different kinds of like emotional stuff
Yeah.
happening inside the hospital. And by the way, this again sounds like an aside. Everybody at the hospital apparently is having relationships with everybody.
Yeah.
That, like,
It's
on-
like working at a restaurant.
yeah, that on-call room gets used daily. Like, put a sock on the door just permanently because it is. People are always in there.
Not a sock.
Yeah, and so I have a friend who's a nurse. I'm like, hey, is that like a common thing? You guys just go in the
Hey,
on-call
if it's
room?
a stethoscope on the door,
Yeah.
go to the next room, please.
Yeah. Just take a nap somewhere else. But yeah, like the things that they do, anyway, it just seems.
So it's all like interpersonal drama, like just happens to be set in a hospital. Is there ever like, oh, the hospital administrators aren't giving us the money that we need, and we need to?
Yeah,
like real
Like
issues.
related to
Yeah,
health
like
issues.
yeah,
Money.
like I can't get this insurance to go through, and this patient.
Real life stuff.
I'm sure there has been, or even like hey, I was harassed. Something like some small.
Sure,
it's always
yeah.
like major, like I was stabbed or I'm dying of cancer. It's always like major things. Which again, that's TV. But yesterday, it took the cake. And again, if you haven't watched, I apologize. A guy,
Spoilers.
a guy fell on a Lego. So it hurts. You walk in like I walked.
Legos
into,
are treacherous,
I walked into
for sure.
Harvey's room before late at night to check on him, and we haven't like put away properly.
Is he in
And
the
I-
little? He's not in the little Lego stage yet, is he?
No, that's choking hazard. But
Yeah.
he has like the big ones that you can't like, fit in your mouth, but they're
Yeah.
like big blocks. But even like little small toys that we have out that maybe we shouldn't. Those still hurt.
Right.
Sure. This guy was walking, and I'm not sure how he fell because I was half paying attention. But he fell on Legos, and then goes, oh,
Yeah.
and like there's this whole I'm like, dude, bruh, it's Legos.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like it hurts. Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Sure,
thank God.
yeah.
It hurts, but
Painful.
not this. This
A
is like,
little uncomfort, I can understand,
Yeah.
but he had a heart attack almost.
yeah, this is like full-fledged like soccer meltdown where you're like
Yeah.
grabbing your knee and just like I'm dead, I'm dying. So they take him to the hospital. If I have to go to the hospital for a Lego injury,
Lego-related injury.
I'm lying.
Yeah.
Off the top.
I got mugged,
Yeah.
alligator, something, not Legos. And apparently, I'll put this in a PG form, he ruptured his bottom.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
Lord.
Bowl.
So, and I went back. I remember watching this because my wife was laughing. I went back and like he was wearing pants.
So it had to pierce him somehow.
Had to pierce through the pants to get to the bottom.
Bowl.
Yeah, if
Maybe-
I don't believe this at all.
yeah. If I'm a doctor, I go,
Yeah.
okay. So So, where were you?
Let me see this Lego that did this to you.
Well, yeah.
This had to be one of those Star Wars Darth Vader Legos.
Yeah.
Had to be
With
like
the
an entire
lightsaber.
castle that was built and you fell on.
There is a. I remember the last time. This is a weird segue. The last time I like showered with my dad, I was a little kid, obviously.
Extremely weird.
Yeah. I was like 14. No, I was kidding. I was like 2 or 3 tops.
You remember this?
I remember this because of this incident. And I just had my birthday party, and it was a Tiny Toons or a Looney Tunes birthday party, and I had the cake used to have like little action figures all over, so it had like Bugs and Daffy and all the characters on there.
It was a dope cakes.
Dope cake, yeah. And so of course I'm like 3, so it's all over my face. I'm covered. It's like, hey, what? Just hop in the shower. We'll get you cleaned off. We'll all get this done. And so I was allowed to take one toy into the shower. So I took Bugs because Bugs is the man.
Yeah.
Smart, educated, always outcrafts everyone.
crafty.
Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
Yes, short for Bugs. If you're in the know, you just call him Bugs.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Call him B.
Yeah, BB. And so I had Bugs Bunny, and he was the elongated ears together Bugs
Okay.
Bunny. My dad's showering. I don't remember necessarily the action. I just remember the reaction. So part of my body was able to tune this out.
Yeah.
My dad was like washing his face or something. I saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I took it.
Give him the old hello.
Give me a hello.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I took it. And
God.
he yelled at me
terrible.
with an anger that I thought was unjustified.
I mean, look, that's a guttural reaction, right? Like,
It was almost like he was afraid of maybe how he felt. I don't know. But it was a straight. I was out of half soap, half clean, straight out of the shower. You've been banished from this haven of security, and it was like my mom had to come in and get me, and I was like,
out.
yeah, I'm like, what happened? Like we were just playing around, and yeah, that was the last time my dad had to take a shower.
Oh,
together.
gosh.
so was this Lego guy? Was this like the main plot of the show?
This was,
like he was
this
he was the
the
patient for
this
the
was-
week.
This was the first part of it, and so I saw
Okay.
that, and I just tuned out. Like, this is ridiculous. This is
Oh,
going
you don't know how
nowhere.
this resolved?
No idea how to resolve that. That's a reason to watch the
There you
show.
go. Grey's Anatomy.
heck-
Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, Thursday nights because I watched
Thursday,
it last night.
whatever.
Yeah, Thursday nights. Grey's Anatomy. Boom. ABC. I think. I don't know. Take a quick break. When we come back, we have Trelvis' story with the law. What happened? How he got out of it? And what you can do to learn from it.
Got that music in
more.
there?
Yeah, coming up next.
Here's the music.
Got to raise the computer volume in there, 7 and 8.
Oh.
Raise it slightly. There it is.
Love it. Now you
All
can
right.
mute our mics.
Mute our mics.
We then proceeded at that point into our
Wait.
There we go.
There we go. We're back.
Yo.
Again, I love that harsh.
Just kill it.
Yeah, just boom.
Done.
Yeah, and then
Who cares?
Sarah Messias is doing a phenomenal job
Yes,
in there.
thank you.
Oh.
This is the Lunchbreak show is
Maybe.
designed for our staff to get a good feel of how these shows run. One, because they're really complicated.
They are.
People think going Facebook Live is super easy. It is not. There are 6 cameras. There's a board with like 16 channels. There's 5 mics, 3 people. There's music. There's logos, lower thirds, watermarks in the bottom corner. A lot of intricate details. All have to seem to
Oh,
flow.
shoot. I put Trelvis up. You're Josh. Here it goes. Oh, sorry.
There's
Josh.
interrupting them with the host.
Yeah.
You know, it's the whole thing. As I'm trying to compliment you, Sarah.
You got to be ready for
runs
anything.
Right
We
in.
do get that we look alike. Very
Yeah.
extremely
I hear
obvious.
it all the time.
I mean,
can see how you made that mistake.
Josh, Trelvis, Josh.
I can see how you made that
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
It's the hair.
So, Trelvis, you were sharing the story with me. Tell me about your experience riding back from Richardson late at night.
Right.
All of a sudden,
Whoop, whoop.
When was this?
Okay, so this was like Saturday, I believe.
Okay, so
So
like about a week
recent.
ago.
Yeah, this was pretty recent. I think it was this past Saturday actually. So I'm in Richardson. I'm riding back. I stay in Pleasant Grove, so there's like a big distance from Richardson to Pleasant Grove. So
Yeah.
I'm riding back on I think 75 is where I'm at.
Okay.
And a car gets behind me because I just get on the freeway. A car is really like close, like tailing me. I'm thinking that they're trying to like push me out the way. A lot of people from Dallas can't drive. You know what I mean? So like, I'm from Dallas. I can admit this. A lot of people from Dallas can't drive. So
That's
I thought
true.
he was just up on my bumper trying to get me to move. Well, so I got over into the next lane. As soon as I got over, the lights, like she lit me up. The police officer lit me up.
improper lane change.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's what I got pulled over for originally. So, but at this point, I'm already
Oh wait,
nervous.
like without a signal or something like that?
yeah, I
Okay.
didn't signal.
So the proper lane change is 3 lines. So you turn on your signal and
Yeah.
you wait for 3 lines to pass. It's 90 yards. And then you change lanes.
I didn't know the 3-line thing.
Yeah. I
Wait for
didn't either.
3 more lines, and then the signal goes off. That's
true.
a proper lane change.
That's true.
Oh, that's too much.
So I guess cutting to the point. The reason I was so nervous because instantly when the lights came on, I got really nervous. I was super nervous because I carry a concealed handgun, but I also have my handgun license. I went
Yeah.
through the class, I went through all the paperwork, paid the fees, everything. So I'm a legal gun carrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your constitutional right.
Exactly. So I'm a legal gun carrier. I did have a gun in the car that night. But even though I'm a legal gun carrier, that still didn't like, stop any of the nervousness from like coming
No, I
in.
can imagine.
Exactly.
So
now-
it wasn't on you. It was like in the glove box.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say where you keep it, but
Yeah,
like it was in the car,
It was
not
in the
on
car.
you.
It wasn't on my person.
Okay.
It wasn't on my person. So she walks up to the car, and at this point, I'm like 10 and 2, just nervous, like just super nervous. So she walks up to the car. I let every window down. Like,
What is? Hold on. What is your procedure like when you get pulled over? What do you do?
I
Because
do
I've
the
heard
same
like
thing.
a million
So
things.
I get my license and registration out, and I put them up on the dash. Just
Before
getting ready.
they walk up.
Yeah, as they're walking up, it's all here on the dash. I put my hands on 10 and 2.
right. I don't
I just-
move at all.
Yeah, I
until
just stand there.
until requested. Until
So
asked.
yeah, so if I can, I pull off the highway. Like I take an exit and I pull off the highway. I hit the dome light and then I roll the windows down. Like it's
I didn't
very
hit the light. I guess that probably would be a good way to go.
I've
about
heard
it.
that's a good thing to do.
Yeah,
Well,
for
at
sure.
night, obviously. Like
Yeah.
in the daytime, doesn't matter. But yeah, at nighttime, I'll hit the inside lights so that they can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I try to get off the highway, not just pull over on the shoulder because I know that like a lot of people get nervous whenever,
Right.
like rightfully so, like a car could hit you on the side of the road. So
Yeah, and you're probably not trying to hear this, but when I did my volunteer citizens police academy, the pullover, like when you pull someone over, and because like that was like the last part of the trainings, we had to like walk up to a car at night.
Wow.
And we knew it was a cop in the car, but we weren't told like they could have a gun or they couldn't have a gun. You don't know.
Right.
And so it was like a 50-50 chance. So you're walking up, and I was still nervous. Like it's so weird, even though I
Yeah.
know I'm not going to get hurt. I'm in a controlled environment. This officer in the car who's like fully trained.
Right.
You're still kind of like,
Exactly.
yeah.
probably why I'm not a police officer. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean that's the gist of it. Like she walked up to the car, I let every window down. She asked me, what was I doing out there late? Because it was like 11:30 at night on a Saturday.
not late.
That's not late.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was late, but whatever. So she asked me what I was doing out. I told her, I just came from a date, just seeing a young lady out in Richardson, and
Oh?
like it was a good night. It was a good night.
she asked how it went.
She did ask that. She even like complimented my cologne. But at that point,
You
I
do
was
smell
so
good though.
I was so nervous. I didn't want to hear that, Sarah. I was just like, let me go. Like, let me just leave.
Yeah.
So she asked me, did I have any kind of weapons in the car? Or did I have anything that she needed to know about? I told her I did have a gun, but I also handed her my CHL as well. Because like when you train in the class, they tell you hand that to them off the rip.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I can't lie. Like in my mind, I was thinking, do I like try to cover up that I have a gun in the car?
Oh, yeah.
Do I not mention it? Do I just But I did hand it to her. She, I thought she was like gonna search me. I thought she was gonna take me out the car, like pull me out, like check the gun, just everything. But she was like really cool. She asked me what kind of gun I had, like what did I carry, and just personal questions. Long story short, she ran my information. She told me as long as you don't have any warrants or like nothing is like, out of line, your insurance is all together, I'll let you go with just a warning. I didn't get a ticket. I don't have any warrants.
Wow.
So, I didn't get a ticket. She didn't search me. She just kind of told me be careful and sent me on my way. But that was literally the most nerve-wracking probably like 15 minutes I've ever like been through.
See, and that's so weird because, like, for me, like the two experiences I've had. One, I was riding with a police officer who was in his like personal vehicle.
Yeah.
And he keeps his gun in between the driver's seat and the little armrest, where he keeps his just there. And he drives ridiculous because he doesn't ever get a speeding ticket because he's a cop. And so he was doing like 90 or something, and the cop pulled him over, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's fine. Hold on a second." And the cop walks up and sees the gun, and immediately draws down because that's what they're trained to do. And so we're both like, "Whoa!" And he had like say, "Hey, officer," and he gave him his badge number. He's like, "I'm gonna reach in my back pocket. I can get out wherever you want me to do, but I'm an officer. Here's my, And so they, but it took like a minute and a half to like de-escalate that situation.
She was like, you could tell she wasn't even nervous. I don't know if she was an experienced officer or what, but like she just kind of was like, okay, well, just don't make any kind of sudden movements. And that's something you really don't have to like say.
Got it. Check.
I think I just start like jerking.
Like this is a great time to just act really erratic.
Well, but the thing is though, is like you came clean about the gun.
Exactly.
This had been like 2 minutes into the interaction before she saw it, or he saw it. The officer that drew down him, and so he never said he had it.
Right.
He forgot that it was there. Oh no, it's cool. Here's my ID. He's about to hand him the driver's the little cop thing that they have to give.
Secret get out of jail.
Get out of jail free card. And before he could get that to him, he saw a gun. He goes, "Don't move, don't move."
Yeah.
He was like,
I definitely didn't want that experience.
it's like my hands were on the dash. Like, That's not how I die.
I don't do well in like a pullover situation. I don't. Like I immediately, even if I haven't done anything, or if I know like I've been speeding or whatever, it's one thing. But I immediately start to think, good grief, what have I done? Like have I murdered somebody today? Like what? Like a million things start going through my head, and I act so. I can remember being pulled over. I was 18. And this is how big of a nerd I was. Like, me and a buddy of mine used to go around. Our football team didn't make it in the playoffs, but, like, the playoffs were going on, and so we'd go to, like, I don't know, Pennington Field in Hearst or whatever, or Bedford, and watch just a random high school football playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just for something to do. So we were driving back one night, and I got pulled over, and I was mortified. I'm like, what have I done? Like, I'm 18. I haven't had anything to drink, but I'm like, am I drunk? Like, what did I do?
Right.
And
Am I drunk?
I had mushrooms on my pasta. That are bad mushrooms.
Yeah. Like, I'm like a million things are going through my head, and they asked me. They're like, what have you had to drink tonight? I'm like, Dr. Pepper. It was miserable. And the few times I haven't been pulled over in a while, but the few times it never goes well for me. Like I always come across as like I'm up to something. I don't know what.
Right.
I've been in the back of a cop car twice.
Wow.
Once for being an idiot. I was doing donuts in a parking lot.
Nice.
And the cop pulled me over, and I go, "This is private." And this is back when I was like really young and just an idiot.
Knew the law.
Knew the law. Inwards and out. Yeah. And I was like, "This is private property, so nothing you can do."
Yeah.
And he goes,
Oh my God.
Okay. And you click in the back. I'm like, "Oh, no. It's private property." Like I read this somewhere. Yeah. And I didn't get a ticket. He didn't do anything. It was private property. But there was a person who was under the age, who was a minor, he was under the age of 16. So his parents were called. And the cop, this is the last time I ever got to hang out with this kid, because the cop just said, or the dispatch called the parents, said, "We need you to come identify your son's body."
Oh, wow.
What?
Period. And then hung up the phone.
Wow.
Yeah. What? And so the parents came like screaming into the parking lot thinking their son was dead. And he's just sitting there like,
Oh, wow.
His living body. I forgot to.
Somebody probably should have at least talked to the officer about his wording.
Identified body. Yeah, and so they pull up and they're like, "Get in the car. You're not hanging out with this idiot ever again."
Oh
and I was like,
my God.
"All right, calm down, man. Calm down, man. Everything's gonna be fine." There was that.
It's private property.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I can pull as many Brodies here as I want.
Yeah, he's just The other time I was on like an old dirt road and we were going to a pasture party. Luckily, not coming from one. And I got pulled over, and I was just being an idiot, just sass talking, and like I didn't roll the window down, had the windows all the way up, had my music on, I don't care. This is dumb. And the cop was just like,
Pastor party, bro.
You're being an idiot. Cuffs. And they put me in the back. And luckily,
Did you go to jail either time? Like, did you
no,
go to jail?
his daughter knew one of the girls in the back.
Wow.
And she was like, you shouldn't be hanging out with this idiot. I've been called an idiot a lot when I was in high
Wow,
school.
this-
That's a pretty
yeah.
common occurrence
Sounds
for me.
consistent.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the same stories. But yeah, that was the 2 times I was in the back of a squad car going, oh, man, you know what? Maybe I should rethink my life a little bit.
Trajectory is a little bit off right now.
My decisions are backfiring.
I can remember I was pulled over one night coming back from where I worked at a movie rental store in town, and I was driving home, and it was like a 10-minute drive home, basically. And I was in my parents' car, and they had some sort of function the night before, and they had a cash box, like you would, like at a school or something like that, you'd if you were paying for cookies at a bake sale, they'd have these, kind of gray-looking cash boxes.
Yeah.
And it was sitting in the back seat. And I don't know why, but this cop just started following me. I hadn't done anything, I don't think, but this cop just started following me. And of course, like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to lose him. I'm not going to run from him, but I'm going to be like, I'm going to take, looking back on it, it made me look suspicious. But again, like I said, I don't handle this stuff well.
Why is he still following me?
His take off.
So there was a feed store in town with like a dirt road that went around one corner and then the main road that went around the other corner. So it made like a box, but half of it was dirt. Nobody ever takes this unless you're pulling up to the side of the feed store to get a bunch of bags of feed in your car, in your truck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to lose him because he's going to stay on the main road. I'm going to go down the dirt road, and then like I'll sit at the stop sign and wait for him to pass, right? So no, that doesn't happen. I go down the dirt road. He takes the other turn, and we meet like at a corner here, where he doesn't have a stop sign, but I do. So I'm sitting there just like, go on, you have the right of way, sir. I'm following the law.
No, he wants to pull you over.
And
So he wants you to go.
he just sits there, and I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen here.
Reverse.
So I just
He'll
pull on
never
through.
expect this.
Yeah, I'm like, I got him here. It's like when I was a kid, I used to think if you made it to your driveway, the cop couldn't pull you over. Like,
If you make it in your house, he has to get a warrant.
that's true.
Yeah.
So, but I always thought, if you make it to your driveway before the cop gets you, you can't.
Tag.
Yeah. So this is the way I was operating. So
Yeah.
I pulled through the stop sign, and sure enough, he pulls me over, probably for doing what I just did. And then made me get out because he was like, "What is that in the back?" I go, I didn't even know what it was at the time. I'm like, I think it's a bunch of money. Like, I don't know. I think it's my mom's cash box. And so it was a whole. They had to. It was 11:30 or something at night, and they were calling my parents, and they were being like, "Can you confirm that
There's a cash box.
Yeah,
back
it was
here.
it was a small town, so like I think they knew my parents at least.
Small town. I said that's the only reason why I didn't go to jail,
Yeah.
and probably why I had such false confidence. If I had been in a big town, I'd been much more respectful. But
Yeah.
there was like 4 cops in this town, and
Right.
Well, it's a catch-22 though. Like I've always found, because like they'll know everybody, but like small town cops also seem the most likely to pull you over.
True.
Like just because like I don't know, they got nothing else to do or
Exactly.
I
something
will
like
say
that.
this, like Dallas Police Department, like I've never been pulled over in Dallas before. The only places I've been pulled over is like smaller cities like Irving or Richardson or I think maybe Garland, something like that.
Yeah.
But I've never been pulled over by like a Dallas police officer. Knock on wood. As soon as I leave here, it's just
Yeah, they're gonna light you up. Like we heard what you were saying on lunch break, so
right.
you get a little too cocky.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's. I will just say this, and as we sign off, the other thing that I learned from the Citizens Police Academy, you should always sign up for your own city. Every city has one that's phenomenal. They were talking about profiling. They're like, everyone asked to be profiled. I was like, yes, of course we profile. You'd be a bad cop if you didn't. He goes, you can't break any laws, but you can profile. He was like, there was a time I can tell you about. He goes, we were driving. It was in Plano, about like 2 a.m. And there was so they're in their little Tahoes, and pulls up next to him is a guy in a car. Again, 2 a.m. in Plano, and he was wearing a wetsuit. Like the face that was cut out, but the entire wetsuit was on. Gloves, and he's just sitting there, just looking straight forward. And so the guy was like, "Yep, I'm pulling him over."
I'd pull him over just to know what was going on.
And so,
wetsuit.
just the whole wetsuit. And so the cop pulls him over, and goes, "How's it going?" So by the way, there's like 1,000 reasons why cops can legally pull you over. That an illegal lane change,
Right.
you can actually go to jail for an illegal lane
wow.
change.
What?
Don't tell
Yeah.
me that.
Yeah, you can. It's true. The
Wow.
only things you can't go to jail for in the state of Texas is speeding and open container.
Oh wow.
I spent-
Everything else you can go to jail for. So that tells me there's some boys in Austin who love to drive fast and have a beer in the car.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, but they very rarely do that. But they were saying this guy got out of the car and there was like a bunch of TVs in the back. Turns out he'd been out doing some breaking and entering, and
And a whistle.
he was so worried about leaving trace evidence. Like hair follicles. He had shaven his eyebrows and put on a wetsuit to go in and do like.
That's
and they're-
pretty good.
And they're like, so here's the deal, man. We don't do like trace evidence on stolen flat screens. Just
That's not how we catch
yeah,
you.
you didn't kill anybody.
Can we get a DNA test
Yeah,
on this?
you didn't like murder 36 people. We're not sending in the FBI. Quantico's not flying
Yeah.
in to run trace evidence to see if there's any hair follicles that may have fallen on the ground during the crime. But yeah, he ended up going to jail for quite some time.
Wow.
Of course.
But yeah,
it would have been like a
awesome.
real good story if he stepped out of the car and he had like the flipper.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm still going to the lake over
Yeah.
here.
Was it
Yeah,
Lake
but-
Louisville?
Lake Louisville, yeah, checking it out. So that's our show. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back on Monday, perhaps, or Tuesday. You never know what the lunch break. It's always
Never
when
know
we
where we're gonna
find
pop up.
that glimmer of time. Thank you so much for Matt and Trey, Sarah Macias in the booth doing a phenomenal job as always. We'll have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Play.
Yeah, if you say it, it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes.
There we go.